All right. Hey. Welcome back, guys. All right, so Leos, let's jump into a quick bonus one for you guys. I will see y'all bright and early tomorrow, December the 1st, for our holiday party. But in the meantime, I wanted to just do one last one tonight for our Leos. And then, of course, at midnight, the today's topic video will come out. But Leos, we start out with the Two of Coins. Somebody's sitting and they're weighing something. Now they're weighing the time on one hand because we got the clock here. They're weighing two different lifestyle choices, maybe, because we do have two different kinds of hats, a cowboy hat and a baseball cap. This could be somebody sitting here thinking, it's time I decide. It's time I choose where I belong. We have the sun sideways and we have the world upright. It could be somebody choosing or thinking about, am I ready to be married? It could be the Leo asking themselves this really important question. Am I ready to look for my serious forever mate? This could have been a Leo who subconsciously has wanted to remain single up until right about now. When somebody starts to look at life and they say, am I ready? Am I ready for a major commitment? Well, it's a big one, but yeah, maybe I would be ready to do this. That's what it looks like. They know that it's time. It could be a Capricorn trying to make this decision, but I'm not sure yet. Let's just keep going. We've got a Two of Wands, we've got the Devil, so again, some Capricorn, and we got a Queen of Cups in the reverse. This could also represent someone who is standing here needing to make a decision, and a decision to possibly address some kind of toxic behavior that they know is the root cause of why someone's love has been removed from them. And they may be saying, part of this questioning is, am I ready to choose to be in a long-term commitment? But it's also, am I ready to deal with maybe some toxic behavior that is the underlying cause for some sabotage? And their underlying toxic behavior could be this person was just obsessed with money. You see how they stand on this pile of money. This could have been someone who persistently was making really poor choices. Pride and ego, we do see a peacock here. In both cases, on the Two of Wands and here on the Devil, we have hovering above the concept of the yin-yang, the concept of balance. But it's like, whomever this character has been, they have been consistently being like, do I really want to do the whole balance thing? I mean, living in my ego has kind of been toxic maybe, but it's something that I liked pursuing for a period of time. I liked focusing on getting as much as I could as far as money goes. It feels like that's always what it was. It was money, money, money for someone. I'm going to argue that this might have been why Leo fell out of love with them. This could be them sitting here saying, am I ready to make a long-term commitment to the Leo? But I think they are forgetting the critical component. It's not, will I be happy if I make a long-term commitment to Leo? Right now, I don't really see why Leo would be saying yes to them. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm being a little rude here, but anyone who's watched my channel long enough knows I am Sassy Kate from time to time, and I have I seem to open my mouth before I think, and I say what I'm really thinking, and it's not always very polite. And I'm sorry about that, but it bugs me when I see my fictional characters behaving like fools, or entitled. It really, I don't like it. Six of Pentacles sideways, Three of Cups upright, Ten of Cups upright. They really do see this as, if I just were to give to Leo, we would have it all. I could come back in, I could just give to Leo, and we would have the Ten of Cups. Let's ask the Leo, because I feel like this person is taking an awful lot for granted right now. And because I see that they're taking an awful lot for granted right now, my first reaction is, oh, really? Really? Let's just see. Where's Leo at? How's Leo feel about this? Six of Cups, but a Two of Swords. Leo might say, oh, yeah, that person. Yeah, they're a soulmate. And I blocked the hell out of them. Oh, they think they're coming back, do they? yeah, how are they going to get past these swords that I've put up? This big red do not pass go sign. You know, she's even in a red skirt, like a big red stop sign. The acknowledgement is, yeah, I knew they'd come back around because they're a freaking soulmate, but they're also going to be met with these big, huge swords that I'm holding now that are blocking the doorway. Five of Wands in the reverse and the Fool. This Leo is saying, no, I'm not here to rumble. I'm not here to party. I'm not here for any conflict, good or bad. I've already made a leap of faith in a different direction. This Leo may have a total hottie who looks really good in a pair of white linen slacks. This looks like somebody from the Caribbean, like even the shirt is kind of unbuttoned. This Leo may have their eye on somebody gorgeous, someone who has already taken a leap of faith on the Leo, and the Leo's like, I'm sorry, but I've got a boo that I'm already dealing with, and they're somebody who really took that leap in my direction. So that soulmate of mine who keeps thinking any old day they want to pop up and start giving to the connection, they may get a very rude awakening when they pop up. And I'm not doing it to be mean. It's just, it is what it is. They show up and I'm going to have to tell them, I'm sorry. In fact, if they knock on the door, this cat could open the door and they might be a little shocked to have somebody else standing there looking awesome in white linen pants. I don't. It feels like, oh gosh, what was that show? I loved it. It was Tubbs and Crockett. I can't believe I'm blanking out on it. This Leo might actually be headed for marriage with someone else by the time this soulmate comes back into their life. Oh, Miami Vice. There we go. Sorry, it took my brain that long. Buongiorno. Hello, Yale. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. It's been a hot minute, darling. How you been? And how's the rest of the fuzzy crew? We got the Tower in the reverse. I don't think this Leo's changing anything, even if that character does come back in. I don't think it's going to shake the Leo because, number one, the Leo says, yeah, I've always expected him to pop back in. That's what this character does. They show back up. Maybe they've done it before. Maybe they've done it multiple times. And Leo is just like, the only thing is this time around, A, I'm prepared, so it's not going to rattle my heart at all. But B, I'm not going to change my opinion. I'm choosing someone who's choosing me, not someone who's chosen toxicity and always said, but one day I won't choose toxicity and then I'll be back in Leo's world. What are they going to think when they finally get around to saying, oh, I want that 10 of cups now, that wonderful 10 of cups with Leo. I'm done chasing money. What are they going to say about that? We have a 3 of Wands in the reverse, and we have the 8 of Wands upright. Well, it looks like they're doing it now. So this is like they're already on their way with some kind of message coming in. They're already headed, like this is in the present, not later down the road. This is like they really do think that they can come in, present their case and say, hey, so here's the thing. I've got all this stuff to say to you. I'm not sure if they can read the room very well because this looks like they want to hold forth and say their piece. Knight of Cups and High Priestess. They're going to argue like, oh, Leo, it doesn't matter if you've got somebody else. You know it's always you and me, baby. You know it. High Priestess. I feel you. You feel me. We got this energetic bond. And here I am now in the 3D offering my cup. This is a swaggering... I'm going to try to hold my tongue a little bit because I got all kinds of sassy nicknames for this character right now rolling around in my head, and none of them are very polite. We've got a page of Pentacles. I really think the only reason they believe this so wholeheartedly at this point is because, look, they're not off track on thinking that Leo does say, yeah, I know they're a soulmate, and yeah, I know they're coming back in. So they're not mistaken about that. I'll give them that. But there's a deep immaturity for this person. You know, they only see things in little segments. They don't see the big picture. They don't see how their previous actions would have pushed Leo completely in the opposite direction when it comes to whether or not Leo wants to choose them. They don't see it. They just go, what do you mean? I'm making an offer now. And an offer gets accepted because Leo knows I'm still out there. I feel a bond to Leo. So of course they're going to accept this. It's like expecting that if we walk into a bank, we're going to just open up an account with them and have a bank account with them. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Most things are done online now. Bankers aren't really there. You can't just easily walk in and plunk down and get somebody to help you. That's just not the way the world is anymore. And like anything, I think, any company can decide that they don't want to do business with you. It's the same in personal interactions too. I really think that they are stunned because I think that they might have bolstered quite a lot of their financial situation in this time that they have been so single-mindedly chasing down money. We see this wealthy merchant wearing furs and riches, and they've sailed back into port. Now, they're not offering any of their riches to the Leo. They simply think that the Leo should be maybe suitably impressed with how fabulous they are now that they've come back. And I really think it's going to be a bit of a stunner for them. They may react with a the kind of like pulling back, a little gasp. What do you mean, Leo? You don't want my kind of minimal offer? And that might make them even pull back in a bit of a huff. A bit of a huff, but when they leave the conversation or when they are out of sight, I think that's when their real worries begin. I really think that this is an epic, I'll say, ego slapdown. I'm picturing like really skilled, basketball players that jump up and block a perfect shot in just the last perfect second. And that's basically what Leo has done. They really thought that they could, it was, like they were going to make a hoop. This is going to be perfect. They were coming in, they're ready for this, they've decided it, and they really can't quite believe that the answer on Leo's part is, I've got somebody else. Their reaction was, yeah, but I'm sure that kick them to the curb. I'm back now. Get them out of my seat. They were just, warming that seat for me, but I'm here now. And when Leo holds forth and says no, that's when they kind of gasp and pull their energy back. And as they kind of have maybe a sleepless night right after that, it's weird because I think that they're just now realizing how incredibly ego deflating this has been for them. We've got a King of Swords in the reverse. They might also be, like the stress and even the embarrassment. Because I kind of feel like this character is a bit mortified. But the stress and the embarrassment could be making them upset as well. Just because it's like, do they not know all of this? I came back into choose them. They should have said yes. Well, I mean, Page of Swords, they go into spy mode. Why spy mode? Is this like because they can't quite believe, is Leo really with somebody else? 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that they're as bent out of shape as they are over the fact that Leo is saying, no, I'm not interested. It kind of looks like they still are thinking, okay, there must be some other reason then. There must be some other reason. They might even be wondering, like, is Leo like really rich and they don't want to share their money with me? Or, see, the devil is here. And the 3 of Pentacles. It goes back to still thinking. Their mind instantly reverts back to something about, like, does Leo have some richer boyfriend or girlfriend than I am? It's like they instantly think only in the context that they can think of. The only reason somebody would say no to me and my offer when here I am so wealthy now that I've chased money is Leo must have found some money of their own, and they might be dating somebody or in a business deal with somebody who has a bunch of money. This is a very weird and very specific story. I don't think I've ever had one that was so focused on pentacles and money. But when we got pentacles on either side of the devil, and we already saw a devil card where somebody was standing on a heap of money, I'm not going to read it any other way. I think this person does not understand love. I think that their money is the primary driver for this person. And so they can't contemplate that anyone would feel differently, is what I would say. Are they going to, let's go to the universe real quick. Actually, I'm going to use this deck tonight and call it the universe deck. What is their big lesson in all of this? Oh, wow. Their big lesson is literally that, a very big lesson. This could have been a really important and incredible bond. We do have a Two of Cups. We also have that Queen of Cups in the upright, but we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Now, we've seen both of these cards already in this story, but in different positions, right? Their big lesson is when you feel like you're bonded to somebody and that somebody loves you, but you don't pursue it, then even if the person still loves you, you might not have access to them anymore. The love can still exist and someone still won't choose to be with you because you didn't choose to be with them. You know, like how long do you think love just sits there and says, okay, I'll just twiddle my thumbs while you don't offer me anything because I love you. I can love you and I can still move on with my life because I have to. That's kind of what I would say about this, but let me get one more. We got two more here. Six of Pentacles and the Moon. Yeah, their big lesson was about if you don't share your life and even your life's efforts, with a partner where, I'm building and you're building and we're going to build together, and sometimes you end up alone with that moon here. And this is a lonely moon. This is, we see her as a squid, and there's a squid ink, which is used for like protection, for that animal. And it just kind of seems like, I think they don't realize that the way they didn't come forward made her feel like she needed to protect herself from them because she couldn't count on them. It didn't matter that she loved them. Didn't matter that they loved her. They didn't love her enough to offer anything. And if they had offered something, this could have gone very differently. I really think that it's a tough lesson. It's a really tough lesson. What was her lesson in all of this? Her, him, doesn't matter. It's just, that's kind of what we've had here so far. It's the Leo that I'm talking to. The Judgment. This says that she waited a long time. You notice how we have the echo of like night after night after night after night. She laid here and she, had the same dream. Maybe we're going to reconcile. Maybe we're going to reconcile. Maybe we're going to reconcile. That's her bed that we see in all of these like echo images. And then finally she said, what I have to reconcile with is the fact that they're not here. And it's time I go through the portal and I start the next chapter of my life. She moved on because she didn't have a choice. If that is her, that's why she has this new person in her life, somebody who is present, somebody who is taking a leap of faith in her world. And she may not have even met this person yet, I will say that. But she's convinced what I want is someone who would take the leap to come into my life, and then we would together, plan a future, and we'd struggle together and we'd work hard together and we'd build something. I want somebody who bets on me. I want somebody who walks in to my life and says, you're the person I want to do life with. I'm not going to go out and get all my money first and then I'll come back in and be like, okay, yeah, let's do this now. She's not down with that. Now, there's nothing wrong. If that's how people want to operate, that's fine, but that's just not how this character wanted to operate, from what I can tell. So, final message on this whole story. 10 of Wands. There's going to be burdens, but the burdens are probably, this is fear, guilt, shame, remorse, the kinds of emotional burdens that we have to learn how to let go of. And in this case, this to me hints at the fact that perhaps they had like a lack mentality that came all the way from childhood or something, and that was a burden that they needed to work on. Maybe they, instead of working on letting go of a burden, they tried to like fill it by, like, say they didn't feel very loved, maybe from childhood. So instead they went out and they wanted to make tons of money and fill something up that way. So love was secondary. Emotional context was secondary to what I want is to build something that I can count on for myself, which is my money, my money, my money. Because you can't count on relationships and you can't count on love. I mean, I feel really sad for this person if that's the root of where this came from. Um, because it seems like the one thing they really did want was love, and they even met somebody that was their Two of Cups. But it just doesn't look like for this storyline, like they were able to, make a choice. And here's the thing. This could have been that the Leo had the same scars. They could have had childhood wounding too. So now who do we say is like, well, Leo had wounding, but theirs is less important than the other person, so we should give them more like leeway. No, it's just kind of making the statement that we have scars that we carry through life, maybe, and it does shape our behaviors. But hopefully, we check in with ourselves from time to time and say, what are my scars propelling me to do or motivating me to do? And are these good things? Or maybe should I work on me so that then if I meet a really wonderful person, I don't make it them secondary and say, oh, I'll get back to that later on. Right now I want to go, try to fill some gap that I have inside myself with something toxic. That's kind of, I think, what the gist of this whole storyline was, at least from my perspective. Feel free to have a different perspective. It's great to have different opinions. I can only see the story that's being created on the fly, and so there's a lot of moving parts for me as a storyteller, and I only got one shot to get it right. So sometimes I'll miss like something obvious, like a different perspective. And sometimes I see you guys add that in the comments. I'm like, oh my God, that's so freaking brilliant. That's awesome. I didn't even see that. I didn't see it that way. So anyway, you guys, thanks so much for being here. Lots of love to all of you. I will see you guys again shortly, early in the morning. And I'm going to go ahead and still record today's topic. That'll come out at midnight. This will probably be it for me for tonight for the Zodiac. But we'll get back to Zodiacs tomorrow first thing. All right, you guys, I'll see y'all later on. Bye, everybody.